So initially, I looked at the syllabus and the PYQs and so on. But as a beginner, I didn't have any idea. I could hardly understand what is being asked. So I understood that I will need some more help. You need a mentor who can pinpoint your preparation. And I was sitting in Germany, so I had no contact with anyone in India. I stumbled upon Avinash Kumar sir's testimonials about Enlite IS and about Mahesh sir's philosophy course. Reading just the standard books will not be sufficient. You can only deliver your best in those areas which can be predicted.
So it's not actually about the number of tests you are taking. So why philosophy?
Philosophy deals with the big picture, so I was always interested in such stuff. Seeing at it practically can streamline it in the correct direction. It has the shortest syllabus, as everyone knows.
If a new aspirant is coming to and asking, Kirtan Bhai, I want to take philosophy,
I would definitely recommend biggest challenge or the biggest surprise, a couple of corner questions. So you have to just address them in whatever way you can and then leave the rest. Engage with the syllabus as much as possible because you will not get the time again. Answer writing in the real exam hall easier. Because everyone has their own unique style. I was also struggling a bit with time management.
What changes would you like to bring in? Hi all. Today we have with us Kirtan Bhatt, who has secured rank 262 in this year's UPSC CSE. With Kirtan, we already had a conversation about his preparation journey, specifically the GS preparation journey. In this video, we are focusing on Kirtan's philosophy strategy. How, as a philosophy aspirant, he started his preparation, what challenges did he face during his preparation journey, and how he was able to overcome. So, hi Kirtan.
Hello sir, it's a pleasure again.
It's definitely a pleasure again. So Kirtan, this video is actually helping all the philosophy aspirants. But you might also know that most of the social science options are somewhat the same. So when you convey the idea, I feel means if it is conveyed in a broader manner, the aspirants who prepare with other options like PSIR or the sociology or the anthropology, they might also get certain inputs from your preparation strategy.
Sure.
So we will try to convey the idea in such a manner.
Got it, sir.
Okay. So when we start with this particular strategy video, the first thing that comes to my mind is, since this is philosophy, why you selected philosophy? You are an engineer.
Yes.
And that too from Germany. You did your graduation in Germany, has work experience in Germany. So one day you decided, yes, I want to be a civil servant. So you selected philosophy. So why philosophy?
So there are two reasons. One is a personal reason and the second is a practical reason. So personally, I was always interested in the big questions of life, like existence, why are we here, what is life's meaning, and so on. So philosophy deals with such questions when great thinkers have thought about such questions and given very deep answers. So I was always interested in such stuff. And secondly, seeing at it practically, it has the shortest syllabus, as everyone knows. And the material is also really good, which is available. And there are toppers every year whose answer copies we can refer to. So it was a win-win from both sides.
Actually, more of a practical
Yeah.
than the personal angle.
Yeah.
Because in this particular exam, even though we need to have that inclination for a particular option, but in the end, it is the marks
Yeah.
that matters.
Definitely.
So philosophy is a subject that can be easily learned in the shortest period, and the current affairs linkage is very less.
Yeah.
I feel that is another means based on aspirants who will be watching his GS preparation journey might know.
Yes.
Means you are not too into current affairs because of time paucity.
Got it.
So this particular option doesn't have too much of current affairs.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. So once you planned in your mind, yes, this is philosophy that I want, the second thing that you need to do is either study on your own or you need to take the help of a guide or a mentor. So what did you further do for this?
So initially, I looked at the syllabus and the PYQs and so on. But as a beginner, I didn't have any idea. I could hardly understand what is being asked in the PYQs. So I understood that I will need some more help and some support. Reading just the standard books will not be sufficient because they are much broader than what the syllabus demands. So you need a mentor who can pinpoint your preparation, who can streamline it in the correct direction. So when I was researching about the best sources for philosophy and I was sitting in Germany, so I had no contact with anyone in India who is preparing. I stumbled upon Avinash Kumar sir's testimonials and also a few other testimonials about Enlite IS and about Mahesh sir's philosophy course. And after watching the demo lectures, I decided to join the foundation course. So that was completed in about 3 months, after which sir made us write a few answers. So before prelims, I had a good idea of the whole syllabus and I had written a few answers. So I thought I'm in a good position now.
So that was how you entered into your philosophy classes.
Yes, sir.
So in classes, was it the same experience that you felt with respect to your life? Means you are entering into something new, means moving away from engineering into philosophy. So how your classes went ahead?
Actually, I always used to look forward to the classes because working whole day and then doing the household chores when I was living alone and watching these lectures was kind of a refuge for me from my everyday life. It was something I enjoyed very much, learning about new thinkers, learning about such deep ideas. So Mahesh sir always says that when you are doing the foundation, when you are listening to the lectures, engage with the syllabus as much as possible because you will not get the time again. Because after prelims, you have very limited time and you have to maximize the answer writing process. So the foundation phase of 3 months, that was the best time when I used to enjoy the lectures.
Okay. Now, if a new aspirant is coming to and asking, Kirtan Bhai, I want to take philosophy, what I can expect if someone is asking you, what will be your reply?
I would definitely recommend the person to choose philosophy, provided that they have also the interest and aptitude for the subject, because you need to be interested in such questions. Philosophy deals with the big picture, unlike some other humanities optionals like anthropology or sociology, which are more narrow in their scope. So philosophy deals with what does existence mean, what does knowledge mean, what is ethics. It also deals with logic. So these are abstract ideas. So you need to be comfortable with them. And so if you enjoy such things, then definitely you can select the
But
optional.
these are basically very simple. Means
Yeah.
once you once the concerned faculty is easily able to deliver it to you,
Yes.
you will be able to easily reproduce it.
Surely, sir. Initially, the terminology might look daunting,
Yeah,
but once you get into it, their meaning is not that difficult to understand. We use such ideas in our everyday life. We are used to such thoughts also. When we are sitting alone, we often come across such thoughts which we will study in philosophy, but with a proper terminology. And also the paper 2 of philosophy is actually very, very relatable because anyone, any adult who has some basic understanding of life and basic understanding of whatever is happening around the world will be in the position to
write,
Yeah.
not only relate.
Yeah.
Means
To write
earlier
answer.
I was talking with other toppers also. Any person with means basic knowledge actually who has did their graduation in any subject will be able to complete the paper too.
Yeah, surely,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so this is all about the proper vocabulary. Means revising the vocabulary continuously will ensure that philosophy journey is very much simplified.
Yes, sir.
Now, philosophy, if we go ahead, so you did your basic foundation, you are sure with the basic terminologies. Now comes the part where you need to strategize your preparation.
Yeah.
Strategize your preparation means right now you have the knowledge, but implementing the knowledge in paper 1 as well as in paper 2 is entirely different. So, can you, for the future aspirants, elaborate how you went ahead with your paper 1 strategy and how you went ahead with your paper 2 strategy.
Sure, sir. So paper 1, as we all know, deals with Indian philosophy and Western philosophy. So it is more theoretical and more content heavy than paper 2. So you need more time, more engagement with the subject. So during the foundation phase, you have to make sure that you have complete conceptual clarity in paper 1, because paper 2 can be easily dealt with. It doesn't require as much conceptual understanding because we are familiar with those concepts. So in paper 1, during the foundation, build the conceptual clarity, and after prelims, when we are doing the answer writing, Mahesh sir would give us all the possible angles from which questions can be asked in paper 1. So if I can give an example, there is Charvak in paper 1. Everyone reads about it also in history.
Yeah.
So sir would give 3-4 angles from which a question can be framed on Charvak. Any question on Charvak can be broken down to these 3 or 4 angles. So you prepare some basic notes how you will tackle such a question, and you do it for all the topics in paper 1. So you have essentially a question bank which you can use to write an answer on any question. So paper 1 demands a bit more work, a bit more mugging up of terminology. Whereas paper 2 is easy to understand, but it requires more originality and more authenticity in your answer writing. So paper 2 has socio-political philosophy and philosophy of religion. So both of them are easy to understand, and the syllabus is also much shorter. But you need to brainstorm more, you need to think more, you need to think of more dimensions from various fields. From if you read the newspaper, of you can even incorporate your GS knowledge in paper 2.
Okay, Kirtan, for the benefit of aspirants, are you in a position to take a particular example and elaborate on paper 2? Means any one area on
Sure.
socio-political.
In socio-political philosophy, I can think of a question which was asked in my mains. For example, there is a debate between Gandhiji and Dr. Ambedkar about caste system. We
Caste.
also read it in history. So it is the same question in socio-political philosophy. We just need to incorporate some terminologies from socio-political philosophy. So they would just ask how the ideas of Dr. Ambedkar and Gandhiji differed on the topic of caste. So anyone can write this answer, even with GS knowledge. We just need to bring in some terminologies like justice or equality, substantive equality, distributive justice, and so on, to make it more
more precise for means the vocabulary when precise, relevant for that particular topic.
Exactly. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, based on your conversation, I feel there is no much difference between paper 2 preparation and GS preparation.
Yeah.
Most of the areas in polity or the society or the social justice area or even the ethics, they are overlapping with your paper 2.
Very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is not actually very unique for philosophy alone. Most of the social science options, the paper 2 is on the same
Yeah.
pattern. There is a large scale overlap. Now you prepared your strategy. Now you need to implement it. Implementation part means it's actually when after your prelims, when you went back to Germany. So from there you started your implementation part. So here your implementation from your conversation, I know you started the test series.
Yes, sir.
So how you felt about the test series and what changes did you bring into your preparation journey?
Yes, sir. So as you mentioned, I joined the Enlite test series for philosophy. So there are basically 6 sectional tests. So sir divides the whole syllabus of both papers into 6 sectional tests, and at the end there are 2 full-length tests. So before each paper, sir would give a broad idea of how to prepare for the test, what are the areas to focus upon, and also those discussions which I mentioned earlier. What are the angles from which a question can be framed on a particular topic? So I would prepare all those angles in advance, make short notes and one-pagers on them, and then go to write the test. And after the test, sir would give us a feedback, one-to-one feedback over Zoom. and give us suggestions on how to improve the answer. And the good thing about the feedback was that he doesn't change the natural writing style of the aspirant, because everyone has their own unique style. So within their framework of their own writing style, he tries to bring in some inputs. So that is the strategy I followed.
Okay. So here in mains, the most important thing is writing practice. So did you restrict your writing for this module or full length test alone, or you started writing along with it daily, you started practicing?
No, sir, I didn't do any daily answer writing because my schedule was very hectic with the job and also the GS preparation. So I only wrote the sectional tests and I didn't even write a full test. So that is probably one of the areas I can work upon.
Yeah. But when we speak with toppers, some say take multiple tests, some say take only few module tests.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not actually about the number of tests you are taking. It's actually the incorporation of test feedbacks that actually gets converted into marks. Nah?
Yes.
Okay. So you wrote those tests. Now you wrote those tests not on an actual exam basis.
Yes, sir.
Now when you attempted the UPSC mains, what challenges did you feel?
In my optional paper, specifically, the biggest challenge or the biggest surprise were a couple of corner questions which seemingly came out of the syllabus. So we had never heard about such topics or such questions before. But sir had warned us that there would be a couple of questions like this. So you have to just address them in whatever way you can and then leave the rest. Because you can only deliver your best in those areas which can be predicted, which everyone knows will be asked. So those are the areas where you have to maximize your points. And such corner questions don't determine your score. So that was the only challenge.
Okay. Now, Kirtan, the social science options is all about actually the thinkers. Okay. In philosophy also, there are multiple thinkers, both Indian and Western. For aspirants who intend to take the social science option, how can we simplify or demystify the thinkers?
Sir, I think any social science optional, and especially philosophy, is like a conversation between two thinkers. So if I give you an example, everyone must have heard about Plato and Aristotle.
Yeah.
So Aristotle is responding to Plato. So it is like a conversation between them. Plato has given an idea, Aristotle is building upon it or responding to that idea. And similarly, you have Descartes and Spinoza and Leibniz and all those thinkers. It is like an eternal conversation going on from
One
600
person to the
BC,
other person.
yes,
Yeah.
until 20th century.
Okay.
So if we see it in that way, if we try to connect the dots, like who is responding to whom and what was the initial idea and what was the response, and then someone else is responding to that idea, criticizing it, then all of it gives us a whole picture and everything is connected. So that way we can simplify our understanding.
Yeah. So actually connecting the basic philosophy or basic pictures of the thinkers means getting an idea why these thinkers brought these ideas
Yes, sir.
and what these ideas are in the near future. That will help you in better simplifying the thinker concept. Actually,
Yes,
not only that, these thinkers can be incorporated in both GS also, na? In ethics, especially the thinkers, the philosopher, there is a topic,
yes,
the modern thinkers or the philosophers. So were you able to incorporate these thinkers into ethics paper?
to an extent, yes, sir. Especially the thinkers from socio-political philosophy, we can incorporate in our ethics answers like Rousseau, Hobbes, Kant, and so on. And also in the essay paper, we can try to simplify their thought for the reader, because we cannot expect the reader of our essay to be familiar with the concepts of those thinkers. But if we simplify those ideas by mentioning the thinker in passing, then that can be of benefit.
Okay. Now, Kirtan, Before we wind up, I would like to ask you two questions.
Sure, sir.
The one, how was your association with Team Enlite, especially with Mahesh sir, with respect to philosophy?
Sir, it was a very pleasant association because, as I said, I did my foundation and up all until test series and even interview preparation with Mahesh sir only. And the kind of personalized feedback and personalized attention uh, and tailor-made suggestions which I got from him, they really helped me to increase my score and to streamline my preparation. So a big thanks to him also.
Okay. Now the second question, this is little bit hypothetical. In my earlier conversation with another topper, I have asked it. If given an opportunity to rework on your philosophy journey, okay, what changes would you like to bring in?
And that is very difficult, sir, because I felt that I have done the most I can, but maybe as I mentioned earlier, I didn't write all the tests. So if I can write more answers, that will also speed up my thinking process, and that will make answer writing in the real exam hall easier.
Easier.
Because I was also struggling a bit with time management. I barely finished the papers. So if I would have written more tests, that would have definitely helped with time management.
Time. Means in your GS strategy, you are mentioning nearly 10 marks for ethics, you left it.
Yes.
But still you were able to score 134.
Yes, sir.
Means that shows that the quality of points are very good. So in philosophy also, if your writing speed gets better, actually your score might increase very tremendously.
Yeah, I think so, sir.
Okay, so Kirtan, thanks for being with us. Thanks for sharing your strategy about philosophy with future aspirants. So Team Enlite would very much like to congratulate you on your success and wish you a very successful period. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was an honor.
Thank you.